A woman with a voice is by definition a strong woman, but the search to find that voice can be remarkably difficult. Melinda Gates, philanthropist. Welcome to Get Real with Shameeza. I'm your host, Shameeza Ali, and it is truly a pleasure to be here with you this evening. My co host is strong. She is a survivor. She is fierce. She's Sara Khalil. Welcome. How are
Thank
you?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having
It
me.
is truly a pleasure to have you here
It's
this
gonna be a hot
evening.
night, so I would like to let the viewers grab a cold drink. Lots of conversation, a lot of questions tonight. So you guys need to tune in right here for a fun-packed event.
As a matter of fact, they should be sharing this right now with their friends, their family. They should be, letting everyone know that tonight's show is one that they don't want to miss. It's a must see, everyone.
And it's the final show. And if you guys can recall, I was her first guest and the last guest for season 1. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a great, great night. So you guys don't want to miss it. So invite your friends and family to join Get Real with Shamiza and come right here with your cold drink because I'm telling you, it's going to be hot. Isn't she looking hot tonight?
Oh, thank you. But so are you. You're such an exotic beauty, Sarah.
You
Do you have
too.
any secrets to what you do to keep yourself so
Keto diet. No.
keto? Oh, no, I was getting excited there for a moment.
No,
No.
bay leaf and cinnamon water. I truly, truly believe. I tried several things and come down to these two ingredients, which we all can find in our pantry today, in your kitchen. It literally works.
Well, you heard it here from Sarah. She is
But
saying
I
it,
also
and if you
feel
want to
that
look like this,
beauty is not what the outer look. I think beauty comes from within, and once you're a happy person, you automatically becomes beautiful.
I will
It
agree
glow
with
that
that.
glow comes in your face, and you just look great.
Definitely.
Yes.
A lot of, for me, beauty is really what comes from within you and what you give out to the world,
Yes,
right?
that's
So
what you receive back.
we may have that, pretty skin and pretty smart, but it all comes down to attitude and how you treat others. So
Right.
great
How
message
you
right
would
there,
like to
Sarah.
walk into the room with confidence. And remember, confidence is not something we were born with.
It's something that's attained. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of uh, trials and failures
Yes.
to really get to that point
And
where
once
you're
you're
truly
confident, you're
confident.
beautiful.
Absolutely.
And we have a beautiful guest on here tonight. Are you excited?
Truly excited and
How are you
truly
feeling right now?
a lot of different emotions, to be honest with you. I have so much different things happening in my head right now. A story that's going to definitely touch a lot of us. We're going to start questioning what we as a society, who do we trust, and how do we move forward after a story like this. So,
Yes.
without further ado, I would like to say good evening to everyone that's joining us. Thank you for your comments. And we're seeing your comments, but we do have an exciting show for you tonight. So let's get right to it. How do you get over something traumatic in your life? How do you move on? Can you really move on? Are you the parent that if your child comes to you with a story like this one that you're about to hear, will you speak up? Will you suppress because you are afraid of your child being judged and of you being judged? Or do you stand up and speak up? These are some of the questions that will be asked and answered on tonight's show. Sam, I know you have something that you want to share as well.
Take a moment and picture an image of a rapist. Without a doubt, you are thinking about a man, huh? Given our pervasive cultural understanding that the perpetrator of sexual violence are nearly always men. Well, tonight you guys are in for a treat because there is a big twist to this. But this assumption belies in reality, revealed in our study. A large scale federal agency surveys that women are also often perpetrators of sexual victimization. And that is what we're going to be talking tonight. When we talk about woman empowerment, this is what woman empowerment is all about and means that we go above and beyond and just don't do the show and hear the story, but lots of action behind the scenes.
Definitely. First, take I would like to ask everyone's complete respect for my guest tonight, as it takes a lot of courage to share a story. She has been through a lot, and I ask you to be mindful of your comments. She has agreed to answer your questions, so please feel free to ask questions. I know most of you noticed there will be no musical guest for tonight's show and was wondering why. Well, I wanted time to make a few announcements, and I wanted to give you, the viewers, a chance to interact with us. Stay right where you are, and for those announcements. Last week's show was very touching. Sabrina has touched many with her story. Thank you for your love, messages, and support. On behalf of Sabrina, thank you so very much. Sabrina will be back soon to update everyone on her current treatments and her journey fighting cancer. Please take a moment to share this live with your friends and family. Like and follow Get Real with Shameeza page and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future event notifications. You have a chance tonight to win this refreshing snack box, compliments of Vermin Badesi Foundation. At this time, I would like to thank our sponsors for tonight's show: Ina's Driving School, Navin Singh Music, and Riyadh Khan at Allstate Insurance. Here is a quick message from them.
I'm a tailgater tailgating to get to my tailgate.
I can't go anywhere.
But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. Pay for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Ina's Driving School offers training for CDL licenses, including tractor trailers, trucks, and school buses. Just think, with a CDL license, you can have access to thousands of driving jobs at large companies such as FedEx, UPS, MTA, or New York Sanitation. Ina's Driving School also offers defensive driving courses and training classes for cars and motorcycles, all taught by their college-trained instructors who can even schedule your road test appointments. Inquire about other driving and training packages as well. You might even be qualified for their free CDL training, as they are a certified institution with the New York State Workforce One program. Call Ina's Driving School today. They've been serving our community for over 10 years.
Gavin sing at Rancho. Yeah, my liquor is my lover. I was born a drinker. Yeah, my liquor is my lover. I was born a drinker.
Just a reminder, Ena's Driving School is adding another location at 10524 Cross Bay Boulevard. They have also said that they're giving a 10% discount to viewers of Get Real with Shameeza. Just mention Get Real with Shameeza for a 10% discount. They are also currently hiring for several positions, so definitely give them a call. If you would like more information, you can reach out to me or Ina's Driving School. VFS Constructions has also extended a 10% discount to all Get Real with Shameeza viewers. VFS Construction is also hiring for several positions. Please give Navin Singh a call. For all your insurance and financial needs, please reach out to Riyad Khan at Allstate Insurance. Um, Here we are. It's a moment of
Yes.
truth.
Here we are. Cannot wait to bring this guest on.
Definitely. And I'm as much as I'm excited, I'm also a little bit, that there's different, my nerve is playing games with me.
Yes.
It's a lot of different emotions happening right now.
It
How about
will.
you?
I feel like, I a little bit emotional because I've heard a little bit of our guest speaking. But you know what? We're here to help and support,
Definitely.
and that's why we're here, and she's here.
Definitely.
Mhm.
So, most of us found that a nanny in our home is the best place for our child or children. As a matter of fact, we feel privileged if we can have someone come to our home and watch our children. I have had the privilege of having two nannies in my home recently and my kids to watch my kids, and it was truly a blessing. Well, after tonight's story, many of us will reconsider this choice, and many of us may have doubts. Whatever it is, I want you to make rational choices. Take precautions and do whatever is necessary to protect your child. It is your responsibility to protect and guide your loved ones. She is a poet, she writes, and she sings her own music. She's a contestant for Miss Guyana, but more importantly, she is here to bring awareness of her journey. Please welcome Jemima Chottu. Welcome to Get Real with Shameeza. Jemima, how
Welcome,
are you?
Jemima.
Hi, hi, good night, everyone.
Good night to
It's
you
nice to be on
too.
your show live.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you for
night.
being here, Jemima. So, Jemima,
You're welcome.
I wanted to start with an introduction. Can you introduce yourself for everyone that's watching here tonight?
Sure, no problem. So, as you know, I'm Jemima Chotu. I'm 25 years of age. I'm also known as Nadia the Boss. I'm also a Miss World applicant. I am a poet, a bit of an author, and singer. I'm also a little into blogging. I talk on what goes on within my country and around the world. I just adore Guyana. I love patriotism. I'm a little of a feminist. I love spending time with my family. I adore music. I read a lot. I model, and I just love live life and I'm cool and down to earth. That's much about me. And I'm living on the east coast of Demerara. And the village that I'm from is Enterprise.
Great.
Wow. What's
Nice.
the weather they like right now? Can you
What's Jemima, can you
The
hear us?
weather, it's yes, I can hear you.
Good. Can you tell us what the weather is like right now?
Uh, well, right now it's very cool. There's no rain. The sky is like starry,
Mhm.
but during the course of the day, it was a little cloudy. So, yeah, it's a bit cool right now.
okay?
Perfect. Now, Jemima, can you tell us a little bit about your childhood and your upbringing, like your family and all that stuff? Can you tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. So, I was brought up into a Christianity background. My granddad was a pastor. He's now deceased.
Sorry to
I
hear
have
that.
four, thank you. I have four sisters. I'm the eldest. I actually live with my parents. Now, both my parents were brought up into Christianity background. I'm also a theology student, and That's just about it.
Perfect. Now, I know you write poetry. As a matter of fact, you were given an award for poetry in Guyana. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What the award was for and who it was given by?
Sure. Okay, so the award was given from the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, and it the topic was basically based on COVID and Guyana battle in COVID. So I actually got an award for writing a poem based on the pandemic. So the name of the poem was and is Guyana the Fighter. That was in December
Wow, congratulations
last
on that.
year.
Can you give us uh, a
Thank
little
you.
excerpt or something from what the poem is about? Can you read us something from that poem?
Sure. I actually don't have the poem here, but I could tell
That's
you of a
fine. You
little
know
what
what?
it is
Someone
about.
can, sure. That's
All
fine.
right. So,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yes. Guyana the Fighter is based. I wrote this poem based on the pandemic that the Guyanese people were actually facing last year,
Mhm.
based on March going on to the ending of the year. Okay, it's like I was actually telling Guyanese, don't give up, just keep yourselves safe, even though we're going through the worst of pandemics. It's like a monster, coronavirus is like a monster trying on, just keep doing your social distance, put your mask on, and be strong. Even though this is the worst pandemic, we shouldn't have fear. It's mostly about fear, not having fear.
Perfect. Go ahead. Sam, go ahead.
So, Jemima, I know you wrote about your the pandemic, one of your story, and you don't have your book with you at the moment. What was the pandemic in your country like? What was some of the changes that you've seen, or what have you write in details about what have you learned about this pandemic in your country, and what changes were made during this pandemic time? Because
Well,
we all had a
changes
hard.
that,
Mhm.
Go ahead. Go
yes.
ahead.
Okay, the changes that were made, the curfew was on. You couldn't interact with people to a close distance. There was always a social distance. Well, the vaccine came out the other day. Now the country is being immunized. Most of the population has been taking the vaccine, the AstraZeneca and the Sputnik V. And it's not like before. Mostly we're using virtual in the country. So if there's a show or an event that you want to look at or be a part of, there's always virtual. There's safe things. The restaurants, it's not like before. It can't really be crowded and can be really much in public gatherings.
Uh,
Okay.
Jemima, basically, what you're saying is pretty much what the world is going
Mm-hmm.
through at the moment. We're all in a
Crazy.
position that, none of us are accustomed to. We've all been through for the last maybe 18 months.
Yes.
It has been a crazy time. So I'm happy that you were able to write a poem that can really tell a story
Mhm.
about what the pandemic is about. And you were actually awarded for that. So congratulations
Congratulations.
on
Congrats on
that.
that.
Now, I know you
Thank you.
recently, I do remember you having a recording of a song. Is that correct? You were in studio, you were doing something
That's
with the
correct.
recording. Can you tell us the name of that song that you were recording?
Oh, that was from this moment.
Okay.
From this
And
moment, it's actually by Shania Twain, but it was a little bit, yeah, of a remix.
so Shania Twain, from this moment, it is one of those popular wedding songs all across the globe.
Yeah, it's my
Everyone,
favorite still.
exactly. So, Jemima, I hate to do this to you, but I can't help because it's one of my
I
favorite
want to,
songs.
yes, mine's too.
Can you give us a little bit? of
One
what you
line,
did.
at least one line, right,
Yeah, just
guys?
a little bit of what you did that because I saw it and I thought it was pretty amazing. So, can you give us a little bit of what you did that night? Well, your version,
Okay, so you guys would like me to sing a few verses?
Please
Okay.
do.
absolutely,
Please
yes.
do.
You know what? As a matter of fact, Jemima, hold on.
Okay,
I send us some love if you would like to
great.
hear Jemima give us her version of From
Shame.
This Moment On. Let's see. If we get enough love, Jemima, you will sing
Come
that
on,
for
guys.
us.
Show some love.
Show some love. Let's see some hearts in the comments. And Jemima will definitely give us her version of From This Moment On. We're going to give it two. Oh, here we go. I see some hearts. Thank you,
Thank
Sandra.
you.
Sherry, thank you. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
All right, keep the love coming, guys, and we will get Jemima to sing that song for you. All right. Jemima, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great.
Do you see the love that's happening out here? I see a lot of hearts.
Yeah, I see it.
Perfect. You know what? I think it's that moment. Please go ahead and give us.
Come on, Jemima. You can do this.
Jemima, you got this. Let's go.
Do you guys want the whole song or just a
No,
few
no, no, just a
verses?
little,
No,
just
no,
a few
no. Just a
verses. Yeah.
verse is fine.
Chorus, whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay, I'll go with a bit of the bridge. From this moment, as long as I live, I will love you. I promise you this, there is nothing that I wouldn't give from this moment on. I will love you as long as I live from this moment on. Thank you.
That's
Wow.
amazing, guys. You have to give her a clap for that.
We need more love, guys.
Wow.
That
Come
was,
on, guys.
yes, we
Show
need some
some
more
real
love.
love.
Thank you,
Real
Jemima.
love.
You're welcome.
How's your journey? I know you are currently a contestant in the Miss Guyana pageant. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, so far, I did the first interview. I would say I'm a quarterfinalist, but we are yet to hear word from the organization on when the event would actually be held in Guyana. So we're looking forward to next year. Hopefully,
Perfect.
I'm chosen.
And I think all of this is because of what's currently happening with the pandemic and everything that's happening in Guyana. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Perfect. So now I do want to move on to what everyone is really here for tonight. When you were 7 years old, you had something very traumatic that happened to you. Can you walk us through your journey, Jemima? And take a moment.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you?
Okay, can you repeat the question? Sorry, I
Absolutely.
didn't hear you clearly.
No worries. So at 7 years old, you had something very traumatic that happened to you. And what I'm asking is for you to walk us through your experience. You can take a moment if you need to and let us know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Perfect. So if you can go ahead and tell us what happened to you when you were 7 years old.
All right. When I was 7 years old, I was sexually molested by a woman. Well, it was a very terrible experience. What happened? It it was happening for like 3 weeks, and I was so scared and confused. I didn't know how to let it out. I just kept it in. So for that 3 weeks, I was actually sexually molested by a woman that worked with my grandparents, a nanny, you should say. So one day when my grandparents weren't home and they were off to do their normal, well, my granddad is a pastor, and I normally visit them often, and she was like the carekeeper. She was like well trusted. Apparently, after hours of them leaving, she called me within the room. I was only 7. I had no idea what was going on, so I actually like went into the room, and there she closed the doors, and she started to say, "Take your clothes off." I had no idea what to do. Then actually she came closely, she pulled my pants down, took my clothes off completely, told me to lie on the bed. There was one time she actually tied my hands to the bed. Then she would actually rub my private parts. Well, that would be from the bottom to the top, and then she would like go deeper within, which it kind of hurted me within. It was like terrible for a little girl experiencing that part, and then she like actually sucked my boobs up, and apparently she had me doing other things, kneeling down, actually touching her private parts, like she was masturbating, and then she had me doing stuff that I've never ever experienced in life.
So you're 7. You just to confirm what you're saying. You're 7 years old. You're left with supposedly someone is like a caretaker or nanny that your grandparents hired, and here you are at 7 years old being told to do these things, which is completely strange to you. And what was what were you feeling in that moment, Jemima?
Timid. I was feeling timid, fragile, scared, confused, but I didn't know what to do.
Go ahead. Jemima, I know I am taking you back to a dark place, but that's the only way our viewers will really, really get an understanding of your story. And for the viewers, I want you guys to start putting your questions out that you would like to ask Jemima. But please, just be positive with your questions, all right? Jemima, when you said that she tie you to the bed, did you, at that moment when it was happening, what do you think she was going to do? Take you for a bath, put you to bed first, to sleep? Because
Yeah,
clearly 7-year old is a toddler like what we have, right?
Yeah.
And so I can imagine at that time, you probably wasn't sure what she was going to do to you. But did you had any sense at that moment to think that she's going to assault me or do something harmful to me, or you thought something else at the beginning when she was telling you to go into the room?
well, when I thought she told me to go into the room, maybe she was just calling me. But as soon as I saw, like, she tied me to the bed, then there was a scared, fear came upon me, but I didn't know what exactly she was doing, but was confused. I mean, I did trust her, but still confused. I had no idea, but I was guessing something wrong was gonna happen, harmful.
Where were your grandparents at that time? Were you alone
They
with her
weren't
in the
there.
house?
hmm I was there for visit.
Did you scream at that time for help, or when you start getting fearful that something wrong is happening here? Did you scream at any
Mm.
time? Did you try to alert others?
No, I wasn't a person like that. I
So
was
you
very
stay
quiet.
quiet basically.
Right. So you mentioned that it took you almost 3 weeks for you to basically say anything to someone about what was happening to you. Who was that person that you went to the very first time to let them know that something has happened and you're not sure about what happened?
My mommy?
Your mommy. So you go to your mommy, and what happened?
Well, as soon as my mom heard that, she was very hurt and mad at the same time, but very hurt. And when she was mad, she decided to tell my dad, and then that's where my grandparents got to hurt, and my granddad had to take things into hands.
So
My
now
mom was really mad.
your mom is upset. Your
I'm
dad
sure
knows
they would
about
be,
it.
right?
Of course, she's 7 years old. Your grandfather is now aware and alert about what was happening. Your grandma was aware. Is that correct? So your immediate family
Yes.
are totally aware now that this woman who was supposed to be there to be your caretaker and to protect you, who they trusted in their home, is now molesting you. And so
I have
what is it
goosebumps.
that they did now to her? Or what was the action taken at this point to move forward with what has happened to you?
Well, I can only say that my parents were there for me and my granddad. Uh, my other family relatives, I would be like low esteemed at a certain point. They
Mhm.
didn't take any action into consideration.
So you're telling me that your grandparents, your parents have chosen not to take any action against this woman who sexually molested you.
No, no, I'm saying family relatives, not my parents. My parents wanted to take action,
But
but
did they take action? Was there action taken? Was she questioned by the police? Was there anything done to her? So there was nothing done to her. Now, I did have the privilege of speaking to Jemima's mom earlier today. And as a parent of four beautiful kids, I was actually taken back to see if I was in this position, what would I do? And I know you're a mom as well.
Of course.
And it's a very tough thing to think about. You don't even want to think about your kid in that position. But to be in that position, I'm sure it was a very traumatic
Of
experience for everyone
course.
involved. And when I spoke to her mom today, I have to say, Jemima, your mom is a very sweet lady. What she has said to me is, Miss Shameeza, we have prayed, we have seek counseling in terms of forgiveness, and we were there for Jemima to help her with healing with prayers and with our faith.
But I have a question, guys. Is that enough?
Well, we will find out. Let's continue. Jemima, so tell us about your healing. Because obviously,
well,
your
my
parents,
he
sorry, your parents and grandparents have chosen at this point to not take legal actions to do anything to this woman. And you guys have chosen to move forward. What was put in place to help you as a 7 year old heal from this experience?
Well, my mom had wanted to take actions, but remember, even though she had wanted to take actions, my grand it was left to my granddad to deal with that person because she was working under him. So what happened basically, she was fired. After a few days, I've never seen that woman again. But what helped me through my healing process, my mom was there with me through thick and thin. She is my role model and my best friend. My dad was there with me, and my granddad was my counselor also. He's a pastor, and through counseling and prayer and me writing my books and the help of my mom especially, I'm better today.
So you have, at a very young age, started to really put your thoughts and everything that you had into poetry, into music, and really finding time to do things to distract your emotions. However, have you had any moment where you thought that this was really getting to you? Do you think that what happened to you affects you in any way?
Well, at the moment, not right now, but it used to affect me that I really didn't want to be around women. Like to hug or speak to them. I would always want to be in my room. Tears would be on my pillow at night, and sometimes I would like, there's a suicide thought. But at 12 years old, I mean, my time was surrounded by books and my parents, and that's what helped me. I just began writing songs and poems and books, and I even tried to commit suicide once.
So we have a question from
But
one of our viewers. They want to know, where is this woman now?
well, she's in Guyana, but I have no idea where she is, and I don't want to see her again.
Now I have a question for you, and I'm sure the Shameeza
I
wants.
see Jemima taking a moment. Jemima, take a moment, breathe.
Breathe, breathe.
All right, and let us know when you're ready to continue.
I'm ready.
Go ahead with your question.
Do you think you're 25 now? This incident happened when you were age 7. Are you sure you're healed, or you just grew out of it? Because grew out of it and completely healed is two different things, right? So you think you still have some of that trauma lingering, or you're completely done? Why I'm saying this, because what happened, like if a female or aunt or a cousin or a family member or even a friend, female, come and just touch you, how do you react? If you react out of afraid or being traumatized, or you're okay with a female touching you now and consider it's normal?
Well, yes, I consider it completely normal now, but then, uh-uh.
So you're not completely healed then. You just grow out of the situation because you move on with age, but you're still traumatized. Some sort of that past is lingering in your mind, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Wow. Uh, Jemima, I was there a time that you mentioned that you felt like you didn't want to be here, you wanted to commit suicide. I hate to do this to you, but can you tell us why is it you felt that way?
Because I felt like nothing. I mean, that was a scar of a woman actually. I mean, that was so terrible that I felt like no one would want to be around me. And then having that scar of a woman actually doing that to me, how would I be in the world? Would anybody accept me as a friend? I was scared and I felt like giving up totally.
I understand because I've been there, but on different platform. But I do feel you, and it's okay if you're still healing. It's totally fine. There are some things that happen in our life that we really cannot get over so
Yeah.
easily. You understand? That low self-esteem will be there. Society will see you differently, even though you are so innocent and you are a baby, basically you're a toddler. It's totally innocent. She
Yeah.
will still be judged because of the society we live in today.
Yeah.
You understand? But
Mhm.
you need time, and time will just heal you. I'm telling you, and we all gonna be here to support you.
Jemima,
Thank you.
Jemima, do you feel that you are moving on with your life? I know you're trying. Are all of these things that you're doing, which again, it's very commendable that you're trying to do all these great things with your life. Do you think this is a distraction to keep you away from what is really lingering there for you? Or do you feel that this is truly your passion, music, poetry, and all the other things that you're currently doing? Do you think that is just a distraction, or there is a reason why you do all of these things?
This is my dream and this is my passion, and this is something I would like to do to motivate people out there, especially young women that may be going through abuse, even worse than I did, that they can speak it out loud. You don't have to keep it in. But this is my dream and this is my passion, and what has been helping me, it is partially helping me, but my as I'm saying, I am religious. God has been helping me through it all, and my family is backing me.
So, again, I spoke to her mom earlier today, and her mom has assured me that she and her entire family is there with Jemima. They've supported her throughout the years. They have seek counseling in terms of their religion, their faith in God, and that is their way of counseling. And I truly respect that. Jemima, I have my final question for you. But before
Go
I
ahead.
do that, I will see if Sarah has a question
I
for
am
you.
very happy that she have her parents' support because a lot of us don't even have that. So I really applaud the family for that.
Mhm.
I'm really happy
Thank you.
that her parents supported her because I guess from a Guyanese cultural,
Mhm.
sometimes our parents have a tendency to tell us to shush, to don't say anything because
Suppress.
yes, suppress those feelings, and it's wrong. No, you do not have to suppress. You speaking out can help another victim, another person. You understand? So it does not matter if society judge you, if society tarnish your name, but the right thing to do is to speak out.
Definitely.
And I so applaud your family for that.
Mhm.
That they supported you and that they didn't tell you not to say anything. In fact, they let you say what you had to say. So I really, really give them props for that, Jemima. And my last question to you is that what would your message be? For young girls, you're a 7-year old girls, or what would your message be to girls or women in general?
Okay, so my message would simply be, if you know that you're feeling uncomfortable being around someone or you're actually being sexually molested, please don't keep it in. Tell someone that you trust that can be able to help you through that process, because if you keep it in, it's going to become a monster within.
I
Just
agree.
keep the. Yes.
Great message, Jemima. I'm happy that you actually said that because a lot of times we keep things in for many years, and those things actually tear us in within us. We're dying, but we really don't know that's what's killing us. So I'm happy that you're advising young girls. That's a great message. My final question to you tonight is, uh, I would like you to think about this carefully before answering my final question. My question is, do you truly feel that you're completely healed from what happened to you?
Yes, I think.
Well, if you say that you think so, then I will believe you, and I hope it is the truth that you're completely healed. But I know Sarah and I, which we will discuss further in the show tonight, are working on different ways that we can find counseling and seeking other ways that we can help girls, young girls, and women to get some sort of counseling, to get some sort of relief from situations like this. So I thank you, Jemima, for being here tonight. I know this was difficult to come forward and tell a story that was so traumatizing.
Mhm.
I commend you on your bravery to tell this story, to bring awareness to our community. Good luck on your future endeavors. And, we are here,
We are here.
definitely.
We are here, and because of you, we will actually get the opportunity to hear from many more.
Many more
It
young
took
girls.
her 18 years to come here
Yes.
because of your show. I must applaud you for the great work because I have seen, and for myself speaking, you have given opportunities to people to open that door, and it's just going to get better.
Well, I hope it was the intent for me to be able to bring a platform to everyone to share stories and to bring awareness. And tonight I feel that's exactly what
What
I'm
we're
doing.
doing.
So, Jemima, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
Have a great
darling.
evening,
Have a great
and
night.
we will speak to you soon.
We
You're
will stay in
welcome.
touch with you, by the way, okay?
Definitely.
All right. Bye.
Take care.
Goodbye. Good night. Oh,
Wow,
wow. I was getting goosebumps in my head.
very tough.
So, my thing in New York City, we have to go out and work, and we do have to cater for nannies to
Mm-hmm.
come into our home because
Definitely.
we think if they come into our home,
Mm-hmm.
it's safer. But is it
Right.
really safe? now our eyes are open that we need to really report when these incidents happen and why we
Definitely.
need to report them. And this is make police report, because if we're going to hire a nanny, of course we need to do a background check now,
Yeah.
and it will be there.
A lot of us are thinking, okay, our people, we know who these people are. They just came from Guyana. We need to help them out, you know. But who will ever think that this is the person we're bringing into our home? Now, I'm not saying it's every person we bring into our home or every person we hire as a nanny is having the same mentality as what happened to Jemima. But what I'm saying is, do we really know? Are you going to be that one exception? And are you willing to take that chance? Are you the kind of parent that if your child was to come to you and say, hey, this is happening to me, are you going to suppress and tell your child because you're afraid of being judged
By
by
society.
society? Are you going to let it out? Are you going to speak up? Or really, what are you going to do? I'm looking at your comments, so please tell me what you're going to do in this situation. Sara, you were one of the first guests on
Yes.
Get Real with Shameeza to share your journey. As a matter of fact, we do have a little something here to share of what happened that night on Get Real with Shameeza.
Oh,
Take a look,
wow.
everyone.
Those from then to now, I suppressed it. I never speak out. This is the first time I'm saying it. I don't know how they're going to react, but I've never said anything to them. I never tell them anything, neither one of them until this age. I'm 38 and I've never said it
Feel
to
it
them. I
just
think in today's
flowing.
world, we want what happened to us in our days from growing up to now. Maybe from today, parents that are listening to this show or children that are going through this can speak out as you get the chance. Don't wait till you get so old and then to do this. You should really speak about your feelings. Nothing is going to happen. What can they possibly do? So I think that this is going to help the next generation, at least, or parents who are doing this to their children, to listen to us and probably start being there for them, telling them once in a while you love them. It really will help because they wouldn't have to go search for what they're supposed to get from home
Viewers
out
were
listening. Young girls, mom, dad, don't waste the opportunity listening to your children. You're supposed to. That is your job.
Wow.
True. Now you
That,
can ask me any questions.
Sam, wow. That's a powerful moment that you shared with us a few months ago. I believe that was
In
maybe
May.
April or May?
May.
May
Yes,
of
May.
2021, when you were a very first guest. You shared that with us, and you actually went on to do several things for yourself. Can you share with our viewers tonight what Sara Khalil is finally able to do after telling her story?
I'll tell you guys a little bit about Sarah Khalil. How about that?
Please go ahead.
In a small country in South America called Guyana, which she and this beautiful young lady and I from, actually from the same village.
Yes, Ocean View.
A simple family give birth to a baby girl. She was named Bibi Sarah Khalil. Little did her parents knew that that baby girl will one day become not only a successful and independent woman, but also but also have the most compassionate heart, and it's true.
I can tell.
Sarah Khalil is now a single mom to a teenager who migrated at a young age thousands of miles away from her homeland and settled in Queens, USA, and her passion for helping others grew with her. For over 14 years, I did work in a home care organization, in the healthcare organization. And coming back to some of Jemima's stories, I have faced it. I actually don't mean to step away from mine, but we're in conversation about this. There was a story where this one of my client, her name is Sharon, told me her mother molested her own mom, who's supposed to love her, cared for her, protect her, the most trustworthy person that God brings, said God cannot come, but he would send mothers in the place of him, right? We've been hearing that.
Now, quickly, just so our viewers know, your background is social,
Sociology, yes, in
right?
social work.
So you have done social worker where you were able to bring people when people have.
Well, I wasn't affiliated so much with foster care and any of that. I'm more into home care with patients, with Medicaid, Medicare, get them nursing, get them if they need Hoyer lift in the home, the assessment for these things, anything to do in the healthcare field. But this was a
You
story
came
that
across a
came on my
story.
desk one day, and I had to read it
Yeah.
because she ended up giving birth to a daughter. This is the catch, where she didn't want to touch her own daughter. How traumatized and how her whole life was like upside down, that her mother did it to me. Now
Right.
she just did not traumatize my life and destroy my life, but now my daughter's life.
Because she does not want to be a part
Yeah,
of her
so
daughter.
she doesn't know how to connect with this little girl, how to, she's scared to touch her, to wipe her,
Right.
to care for her. So guys, it's a it's a cruel world as it is, right?
Right.
And we, the women that want to step out there to help and to serve and to empower, these are the things we're planning to do in the future. How can we stop these things from happening? What can we do to avoid? We may not be able to stop, but what can we do to avoid?
Yes.
Can we, should we do a walk? Should we protest for these things? Because every single day, 47 percentage of women in India have been raped.
Yes.
What happened? The monster, the rapist,
Hmm.
the walk free on the street. The survivors are the one who either committing suicide or traumatized for life, and it's
Yeah.
really really wrong.
It's
And
a
it's not just happening in India or Pakistan, and we don't want to label countries, but it's happening around the globe.
now it is not a West Indian
Indian,
or
yeah,
Indian.
Indian.
It happens in every society, every culture, every religious group. We are trying to bring awareness. I'm trying my best to bring awareness about what is happening, and that's why we're sharing these stories. Sarah, that was an excerpt from your book. Can you tell us about your book?
Um, so my book basically was my journey.
Yes.
The life I lived with two failed marriages, been judged, name tarnished. Um, I had it all. I had it said, you know, I lived it all, where you thought at one time this is love, but really it was never about love. It was about someone hidden agenda, um, either for alien status in this
Hmm.
country, green card, and both of my husband wanted just that.
Yeah.
Even though I thought it was the happy ever after, or this is meant for me. Marriage is for something that our religion or culture believe that is everlasting, it's
Right.
forever. But today, in this time, Shameeza, I must say that third and fourth marriage doesn't even matter anymore.
No. Listen,
You
I
know?
want you to keep that thought because we actually have a surprise. What do we say? A surprise host with us here tonight. Please welcome George Baksh to Get Real with Shameeza.
Oh,
Hey, George, welcome.
Hey, what's
Hi.
going on? I miss you guys.
I
I'm sorry,
see.
I was missing in action, and I see we got the same color on tonight.
oh
We we
yes.
we we do. I see your
Yeah,
glasses there. It must be the change
I'm
you
chilling,
had.
and
Yeah.
this, yeah. I mean, I had what was it? A couple of weeks off, a month, 2 months.
You listen,
That's it.
vacation time is truly acceptable.
We can.
And
Yeah,
you had
Can you
your
grab my
vacation.
phone?
Now you're back to work and you are ready to tell stories. You're ready to get
Actually,
real.
Anthony's out.
And so please go ahead.
yeah. I listened to Aunt Jemima. Her story was touching. I mean, I understand her parents because I'm also Christian. Christian people, they're not violent. They always want to leave it in the hand of Jesus.
Right.
So with us West Indian people, sometimes if it was me, I take it in my own hands. But I understand what her parents and her grandparents, they're religious. Her grandfather was a pastor, so he left it in Jesus' hand, and that's what they do. And Jesus does take care of his people, take care of everyone. So when they say that, they did what they believe in and what they did. And it's bad there's monsters all over the place, guys. Don't get it thing. There's always a monster somewhere, like you guys said. In Spanish, India, China, wherever it is, there is. So you got to protect yourself and your kids. People will come in your house and be nice to you and do the wrong things. So always keep your guard up and listen to the kids. The kids are very smart these days. You see, when we were growing up, we were shy. We had that stigma. If we tell, maybe we're going to get beat on top of that.
Yeah.
So we never really tell on, stories. But the kids now are very smart. They're not strong as us, but they're very smart. Listen to the kids. The kids are smart. If they tell you something, investigate it. Because people come into your house and, you don't know who to trust these days. I can't name, but just don't trust anyone. I mean, that when you have kids. But you have to, think. But, and that's it. You have to believe in God. There's people out there right now. If there anyone that's taking advantage of anyone in any kind of way, turn it around. Because if you sit in a dark corner and you realize what you're doing, it's not right. You know it's wrong. People know when they're doing wrong, and sometimes they just choose to do it. I don't know why. I mean, we all know what's right and wrong. So sometimes the message to anyone that's taken advantage or abuse or any bad thing to someone, just try not to do that. Try to be a good person. God, we all believe in different God. I believe in Jesus. He always take care of, whatever's wrong in your life. He always will. And, people should know what's right and wrong. Definitely. And, we have to learn how to love, and love is a thing when people give it to you. I know you guys were talking about love just now, right? So I had to touch on the topic. When people give you love, what do you do with it? You know what people do with love?
No, tell us.
They destroy it. Because love is so sweet. It takes a long time to give someone that. When you give it to people, they destroy it.
George, I do want to take a moment, and if I want to speak to our viewers, guys, if you are excited that George is back tonight with us, he's taking a vacation and he is fully energized right now, and he's ready to speak his truth. He's ready to be real. And
yeah, I mean,
help but feel the vibes that George is giving us.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be real. I mean,
right now, send us some love for George. We want to
you have to be real.
In the comments to know that you're truly happy to have George back, and he's speaking his truth. He's being real, and you're truly connected to him. So send us some love. See, I see Sandra.
Yes. I have a question for you, George. How are you, by the way?
I'm doing great. I'm always on an adventure.
Yes.
Yes. So I started with you being Shameeza co-host, right?
Yes.
And this is our last episode for this season, right?
Yes.
Now, tell me a little bit about your journey on Get Real with Shameeza. Like, what advice you would like to or say to the viewers? What have you learned from Get Real with Shameeza from the beginning to now, first season? What have you learned in this whole journey? And what message would you like to give to the viewers? What advice would you like to give to her?
Well, first of all, my cousin, she's doing a great job. When we started this, we didn't know what we were doing. We jumped into it. We went head first. Our mic, if you watch the first episode, things wasn't working right. We was off. Then we took a break and we got back to it. And that's the courage. It's the word courage you have to take to get through life. Don't make nothing stop you. And every time I when I was on the show, I learned something new, even from talking to someone that was on the show. We had great singers, people, talented people, and I learned from those people. And also even your story. Your story is about the parents of not giving us that support. And it happens a lot. They need to change it. And, things like that. Parents now, We have to give our kids support. I have a daughter. I'm engaged now, but I've been a single parent for a few years. And I did a pretty good job, very well job with my daughter. She's 25 now. She's doing great. With that sexual stuff, I mean, my daughter had her own quarter. I don't even go there. When she was a kid, yeah, we take showers. A little baby, you want to. But when she gets a certain age, you don't touch them. You don't let them do their own thing. But there's monsters in people that they go to the extreme and they shouldn't.
Exactly.
There's people out there. There are monsters. They have to stop it. They need
No,
to stop it.
no, George, I want to go back. You did mention earlier that as kids growing up, you and I, and maybe Sarah's a little bit younger than us, growing up, our parents really, it was one of those things where you had to have respect for elders, which I truly, until this day, I teach my kids the same thing. And I'm happy that I have four kids and they're very respectful. But does respect to elders also kind of let us suppress? Because in a lot of the stories, and I'm going back to last week's story and this story. Last week's story is what was where we mentioned that the father, that family friend, all of these people that were supposed to protect you was really the people who were abusing you or
What the
molesting you.
monsters.
Tonight we learned that the person who was supposed to be in your home and really guide you, your nanny, which is something that here in the US, a lot of us trust a nanny in our home, or we take our kids to a nanny's home and we leave them there. Are these the people that we're supposed to respect and they're supposed to be our elders? Are these the people sometimes that does the wrong thing and we're supposed to suppress because they're our elders and we're supposed to respect them?
So I have something to say about that. So parents always pointed out that you have done this wrong and you have to apologize. And always, they will say that it doesn't matter what your parents do, you don't raise your voice on them, you don't say nothing back to
Or your
them. Your
elders?
elders, you have to respect. I come up in my own thing. Listen, the same respect that goes to them, why can they give that to their children? Aren't we human beings too?
Or
Aren't
the
we
younger
people
ones?
wives too, or mothers of children too?
Right.
Why only us as children have to respect elders and respect parents and suppress and stay quiet, but the parents will never ever take blame or see what their cause in their kids' life, what they've done wrong, and try to say, what, for me, example, I've been told every time I'm at fault, I'm the one to be blamed,
Hmm.
but really no. In reality of the story is today I'm a grown woman. I evolved. What I tolerate then is no longer tolerated. I will maintain the respect for my parents and elder. But if you disrespect me, I will not tolerate it. That is the difference today from back then. And
For
another
Shami,
thing, mhm.
Please
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead, George.
So for Shami's question, yes, respect your elders, but no remorse for sexual assault people that assault little kids, because kids doesn't have a mind of them. Kids play, they play recklessly. They're kids. They do ordinary stuff. So parents, if a father abuse a kid, he should go to jail or whatever the consequences. You shouldn't be ashamed. Nobody should be ashamed to tell about it, or nobody should be say, "Oh, you can't do that because he's your father." No, put him in. I don't want him in jail. Do whatever. Leave him, because I get to understand our culture, because he's bringing the bread in. You can't disrespect him. No, stop it right away. And is Sham, I'm your cousin. If I come to your house and disrespect your kids or do anything, put me in jail. Don't let no one disrespect your kids. Don't let anyone come into any one of you guys' house and disrespect your kids. And to Sarah, the parents, they came with this tradition thing from India. It's control it call. They don't understand, if they want respect, they have to give us some kind of respect. We're not going to disrespect our
Exactly.
parents.
Yeah.
They have to give us some kind of respect. We are the second generation. We are a little upgraded than them. So we tell our parents, hey, We're gonna go to Manhattan and take the train. Why are you gonna do that? Why? No, let us live a little bit.
Exactly. I learned that we should learn to live with gratitude every day. We should be able to live our fullest because one man said, you live every day and you take and you explode this life, experience this life, fill this life up as much as you can because this life is in your hands. You are responsible for your individuality, your happiness based on you, everything that's thrown at you based on you, how you receive, how you interact, what you do with your life, because you cannot wait for another man to come in or another woman to come in to fill the blanks and to make you happy. You're going to wait forever because everybody's pulling for themselves. Why we are trying to wait for someone to come in to do that for us. We're not doing it anymore.
You know, the new generation, we are out there doing our stuff. Even like you guys, female, you guys are working in the American world. You meet people, you talk to people. They have a party, they have dinner. You going out, you're not doing nothing wrong. They got to stop judging you guys and try to control your life and make up a story and said you're a bad person. You're not a bad person. You're going to work and you're socializing. What's so bad about that?
Piggyback on what you said, George, about the men being the breadwinner. I am looking into the viewers right now, and I'm going to tell every woman and girl out there it's very important to be financially independent. I'll tell you why. Most of the women who are stuck in abusive marriage and abusive situations said, well, I can't do better because he's working, I'm not working. I don't care if you have to clean Burger King, the floor, walk the dog, clean the street. Once you earn your paycheck, you are now no longer someone's wife, someone's daughter, someone's mother. You have your own identity that you can say, you know what? The day something were to fall apart, I got me. Because I remember when I only had 79 cents in the bank account. That's in the book.
Yes, and
The woman that starts with 79 cents is sitting right here in front of you with an organization called Work Here Organization and a book called Incomplete that you guys going to be, it's going to be released on Amazon very soon. September 7th is the pre-order, so they can go and pre-order. But it all started with Get Real with Shameeza, I must say it. And Sonia Noel, this fabulous mentor that you put me on to.
Yeah, I have one more message. The
George, I
message.
love your message, but first we need to have a message from our sponsors. So
Okay.
hold that thought right there, and here's a message from our sponsors tonight. Thank you so much.
I'm a tailgater tailgating to get to my tailgate.
I can't go anywhere.
But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. And your cut rate car insurance, it might not pay for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Enos Driving School offers training for CDL licenses, including tractor trailers, trucks, and school buses. Just think, with a CDL license, you can have access to thousands of driving jobs at large companies such as FedEx, UPS, MTA, or New York Sanitation. Enos Driving School also offers defensive driving courses and training classes for cars and motorcycles, all taught by their college-trained instructors who can even schedule your road test appointments. Inquire about other driving and training packages as well. You might even be qualified for their free CDL training, as they are a certified institution with the New York State Workforce One program. Call Enos Driving School today. They've been serving our community for over 10 years.
Gavin sing at Rancho. Yeah, my liquor is my lover. I was born a drinker. Yeah, my liquor is my lover. I was born a drinker.
We're not
Welcome
Okay.
back, everyone. George, welcome back. We
I'm
are
here. I'm
back with
here.
you
I'm
guys,
here.
and great conversation,
Great conversation.
great story.
I
And
have an idea for you.
please go ahead.
Guys, since tonight is Shameeza last night in her first season one, I should say, right?
This is season one,
We would
guys.
like to take questions from the viewer, and we are here. I mean, she's willing to answer, and if she needs me for anything to step in, I want you guys to tell us about your journey here with her, what you guys feel, or give her one advice or one encouragement what she should be doing for season two, because I would love to hear.
Oh, there is a season two, Sarah?
There is a season two with a big twist, but we cannot reveal
Well,
everything for
we
you
can't.
guys to for you guys to know that you have to stay tuned.
There will be a season two. So just so you know, there is a season two, and we're coming back. We are learning, we're growing,
You're
and we
evolving.
are definitely listening to all the comments. We're listening to your feedback. I every day I sit down, I listen to your messages, I read your messages. Some of them I'm able to respond, some of them I'm not able to, so I apologize. I will have a little break, which we'll speak about in a little bit, um, to get back to some of you about what your concerns were, what your feedback was, what you
Right.
were liking
Ask us
about
at
Get Real
least
with
one
Shamiza.
question
But if
each.
you guys
One
can
question.
comment what your, maybe what your most inspiring moment was, who inspired you on Get Real with Shamiza? We have had about 13 episodes, I believe, so far. We have shared a lot of stories. Now, Sarah, being the first person who was here on Get Real with Shamiza to share her journey, I mean, your journey was that of you shared some very intimate things that as a society we tend not to speak about, which was two failed marriages, the suppression of your family, and really having that moment where you're not allowed to speak about certain things that happened to you. You came out and you shared that. Now, not only have you moved on now to writing and completing your book, and you're about to launch that book, but you're also you have merchandise. Speak about these. Let's speak about these mugs.
Girl, do you like
Incomplete.
my incomplete
I didn't
cup?
get my
I,
mug.
you
Oh,
know what, George?
you were
We
I come to
have
your house all the time and I
you
didn't
were
get my
missing
mug. I'm
action
very
on one.
upset now.
no. Don't be upset. We have mugs. Incomplete. Get real with Shamisa. We have merchandise, T-shirts,
T-shirt, mask.
everything for you, George. All you need to do is come to New York.
I come to New York. You know what it is? Our conversation is so intense when I come to your house, we forget about everything.
We do, and I have to tell you, George and I can have
Let's just cheers in
conversations.
these cups
Yes,
for good luck.
George.
I
Cheers
have
to you.
mine. I had to
Yeah.
come up. I said, let me have a plain one because if I have something different, you know.
But George, I have to tell you, Sarah, George and I, prior to Get Real with Shamiza, the two of us as cousins, which were more like siblings, we can have conversations for hours. And we can continue, if not for us getting tired or us having to, he has to go back to wherever. But we have long
I'm
conversations.
jealous because not I'm really jealous. Jealous and being disrespected is two very big differences. But I wish I had a cousin. I did approach my family member. I have no problem saying it on air. Come and support me and whatever, whatever.
Yeah,
Instead of they supporting like George is, that's the jealousy part. Like I see him as a very authentic person where his feeling and his concern for you is actually real. From day one he's been there, and we need more like George in the world where it
absolutely.
comes to family. So George, thank you.
You
I
know,
know. I mean,
one of the things
we
that I do want to share about George and I is yes, we have the great conversations, but when you come to something now, as most people will know, I'm a financial advisor. I've been in banking for 17 years. That is truly what I have been doing. It's all that I've known for the last 17 years. And when I thought about putting this show together, I reached out to George and we started talking about what the show will be about. And George said to me, Shamiza, he didn't say Shamiza, I'm lying. He said, Cuz,
Sham.
I believe in you. Whatever you choose to do on this journey, I'm there to support you. I know that whatever you choose to do, it will be the right thing and you will make it successful. I believe in you. And just those words made me believe in myself and made me want to do it even more, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I truly, because he believed in me, I believed in myself. And that is what really led me to believe and really bring Get Real with Shameeza together. I have spent numerous, I mean, probably days at a time thinking about this show and how I can put it together, and to finally see that we've completed 13 episodes of it.
And the guest you had on this show is
Exactly. You
amazing.
know, we have had not attorneys, we had doctors. We've had women who shared their journey. We have had former beauty queens. We've had women who come on and speak about their journey and talk about human trafficking in Guyana. We've had a girl who went from living in a tent to finally owning her own factory that manufactured clothing for businesses in Guyana. We have had a girl who came on that was 24 years old and had her own business that was helping women in Guyana. We have had our very successful artists like
Ravi
Ravi
B.
B. We have had Vijay Ram Kisoon. We have had Ranjiv. What's what's her name again?
Savita.
Savita,
Kavita.
one of my absolute favorite. And we have done all of these things with the love and the support of each and every one of you out there. So thank you. And we look forward to season two. I have to tell you, there's a lot of things that's happening in season two that I'm excited about.
You better
But
start giving some hints, girl.
I,
Don't
I
make me
can't.
gotta
As a
find
matter
out
of
the other.
fact, I can't. I have my producer who is behind the scenes.
I must say the producer is really doing, it's not an easy job until I actually get on set today with you.
Yes.
I realize how much it is just to put this together. So you guys really need to show some love to the producer.
Now, if
She will call the name, I can't say
I
it.
can't actually, it's a surprise. But
And
if I have enough love and comments,
we
if
will
you guys
actually
send
ask
me
him to
enough
say
love and
something at the
comments
end of this season.
in the messages here tonight, and this is truly coming from me. If you guys would like to know who is behind the scene, who's the one who's making it all possible for this show here, other than me being your host, there is
Can I
someone.
guess?
No,
Family.
family.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Individual in front of
If I can get enough love and comments about, if you guys would like to meet that person, we will be able to
bring him
bring
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
No, actually, he'll be able to come on next week.
Oh.
He's a star then.
I'm sorry, guys.
He is a mystery guy.
He's a star.
Is it a man or is it a woman?
No, come on,
Like
stop
you
it.
said, we have to find out, because just like tonight's show, a lot of people was gonna hope and think it was a man, but it was a big twist. Instead, it was a woman.
Exactly.
Sham, before we go off,
Yes.
I want to just leave a word with the people, our people. They will say in Spanish, mi gente. That means all our culture that's watching or whoever watching. Do not take abuse from anyone. And, just believe in yourself. You could do it. Anything you put your mind to, you could do it. That's the last word for them for this season, if I don't get to say it. To all the people, do not take abuse from anyone.
But George, she was just 7 years old. We have to keep that in mind. Our job as parents to stop that.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about her. I'm just talking in general.
A general statement along with you, because I agree with you, but I feel every parent should have, and Shameeza, please, give me your feedback on this. I think it's important for us parents to sit and educate our children about these things, because we have to go out and work.
Yeah.
We have to hire nannies. That will never stop. But we want to, what message are we sending out to the end of this show to the people, to the viewer out there? We decided that people need to educate their children from a young age. Create codes with them, like I was mentioning. Codes like, if they are in an emergency situation, there are codes to text your parents if that's the only chance you get.
Yeah.
To do that. Depends on the situation at the moment. Remember back then, she didn't have a cell phone, didn't exist.
Right.
It could have gotten worse,
Mhm.
right? But today we have technology is one of the biggest thing ever,
Yeah.
right? And our lives became so easy. So why not utilize it to the fullest?
Yeah.
Set codes. If this code for if a theft is entering the home, there is a special code for that. We as parents have to educate these young toddlers to adulthood.
Yep.
Try, it never will stop. Even if they are in high school. I have a pre-teenager. He's 13 years old. I start educate my child on a lot of things since he was a young age because he basically grew up with a single mother.
Right.
So it was my responsibility to protect him.
Yep.
I did not wait for the father to have a father duty or a mother duty. I step in to be both because he resides with me. It's my
Right.
responsibility. And I love my child dearly and I love children in particular.
Right.
It just gives me goosebumps when she was talking about her story. Not looking at her at 25 year, I see the vision of a 7 year
Year old.
old.
Yeah.
Imagine a 7 year old baby, you know? Come on, guys. We need to support each other. We need to uplift each other. Just don't come to the show and walk away. Don't come to the show just to get a story and make a mockery or a laughter out of it. What Shameeza is doing, what we are trying to do, is to prepare the next generation so that they don't have to go through what we've been through decades ago
Right.
and what other people been through or what we are even going through today. Because today I realize after 38 years I do not need to suppress. I don't fear society. I don't care who tarnished my name. I don't care about any of that anymore. I am me. And this book that I wrote, I know will inspire people because it has so much. It's first of all, it's authentic, it's saucy and glossy and whatever, like the order of the book.
Yeah.
And I feel what I didn't deserve, I have a right to speak about it. At the end, your parents' home should be that safe place no matter what. I didn't have that. I still don't have it. I can't say what will happen later on, but I feel it's the best thing when a father or mother tells you, I don't care what happened out there. Our door will always be open for you. That
Definitely.
is key right there. You wouldn't care. And that also make us get the treatment, the abuse. They give the ammunition in these men hand to do it to us. They sure
Absolutely.
did.
So, Sam, I know
Mhm.
that you have your merchandise, you have t-shirts, you have your mugs, and I
Yeah.
do want you to please let the viewers know how is it they can get, how they can order your merchandise
So
from you.
first of all, there is a website, but maintenance issue, we had to pull it down for now. So to get these fabulous cup, and I think your coffee will taste
Incomplete, which is the
sweeter
name of the book.
and better,
Hmm.
because look at me, huh?
And you're
And
supporting a good cause.
all these money are not going to me. I don't need it. For a not for profit, let me say, we're not making any money. Even if we dissolve this company, the money have to go to another charity.
Yeah.
All this money doesn't belongs to anyone. So if people are thinking about owning a not-for-profit, it's
Hmm.
not a corporation. It's
Right.
different. So all these money are going to children. My biggest fight is poverty. No child should go to bed hungry. I have spoken to so many children. While we have the luxury life and our children at age 7 and 8 want Gucci and Prada and Louis Vuitton and this and that, they are kids doesn't even know what clothes look like because they barely have a torn garment on.
Yeah.
They don't know what a whole meal look like. And I will go out and do some outreach, and you guys will see in the future. I'm sure you have some planned.
Yes.
Women are still using cloth, a sanitary napkin, does not even know the cost of death where infection is concerned.
Yeah.
While we are afforded to wear tampon and pads and the newest version of everything, the luxury life wouldn't last long. The good you do. Remember, when we came in this world, we came with breath, but no name. And when we leave without breath and a name. Think about what you would like to leave. For me, I don't want to be famous. I want to be a legend. I want when Sara died for people to say the good she did, the kind and the things she spread and the changes she made. That is
Definitely.
what World Care is about. We're going to feed every hungry children. We're going to put clothes on their back. We're going to build school for them. We're going to give them proper education, because young girls were told
Yeah.
we are made for pleasure.
Yeah.
We're made for reproduction. We're made to be in the kitchen. While men were told that they can go and get an education, we're going to change that. Watch the next generation. If we're
I
alive, what will happen?
I had an argument about that the other day. I actually, Shabiza was on the phone with two guys. I was having an argument with them because they were from a different country and they're allowed to have more than one wife. And I said, so why your wife can't have two husbands? And they look at me like I'm crazy. They said, but that's the religion. I said, not in America. So, Sham, for you, you asked us about our journey. You asked Sarah about her journey. How is your journey from when we
Yeah,
started
I was
and the
about to
time that
answer
I'm
that first.
missing
Thank
and what
you.
I miss and
Listen.
what you experience and what's your joy about it and how are you feeling about all this?
So for me, it was really about sharing a story that was my journey, my truth, and me being real about what I went through. And when I listened to all the stories around me, for example, I listened to Sabrina's story last week. I listened to Jemima's story. I've listened to your story. And my story is nothing. What I went through and what has happened to me is nothing compared to the stories that I continue to hear. But I am happy that from that little story that I shared, I was able and given the opportunity to bring a platform where many stories are told. And tonight, more than ever, as we celebrate episode 13 of Get Real with Shameeza, I'm happy that we have good audio. We
Yeah,
have
you have
good
good
visuals,
co-host.
and everyone is able to hear us and they're able to see
Which
us,
is good.
which was one of the challenges that we've had. But nevertheless, it has been a wonderful journey, and it's been a journey that I am truly proud of. I'm happy to say that I'm here ending season one. And there are people that has been here on this journey with me, and they have kept themselves in the background, and they don't look at themselves as part of this journey, but they are truly part of the journey with me. And
Of course.
to those people, I thank you. I commend you for what you have done. To mention a few names, I do want to start with my son. He was. You're truly a blessing to my life. You came up with the name for the show, which is Get Real with Shamiza. You also made this journey much easier having your support, your love. George Baksh, I know that you just feel like you're a co host, but you've been there with me before this journey even started. You've always been there with me. Chris, Singh, he's been a mentor to me. He has been there throughout the journey. Vorman Bidesi. Vorman, you probably wouldn't know how important you have been. Your feedback when we had camera issues, when we had all the little things sending us the little feedback. George, you will know about this.
I
Um,
know.
you have been our true support throughout this journey. To my mom, to my daughter, Sophia. You guys have always been there to give me the little feedback that things I couldn't see, whether my hair was not right. I hope it's right tonight. Whether my makeup was not good. And my mom will say, put the hair on the other side next time or hold it all back in a bun. The color was not right on you. It helped me to grow. Even though you might think that what you said was not the most appropriate thing, it helped me to grow. The
Yes.
feedback, Shameeza, you have used the words too many times. Thank you guys, because I have noticed it. I have been noticing it and I have been trying to be better. And I'm happy that you sent me those feedbacks because today Shameeza can be a little bit more fluent without having the arms and all of those things. So thank you. Ranjiv Randin, thank you. The flyers that you have created for the last 13 weeks have been amazing, truly great. The last one that you just created, which we will share in a moment, for the final show, which will be next week, truly amazing. The feedback has been amazing. I think people's favorite color for Get Real with Shameeza is pink or
We're
black.
close.
Yeah,
I think purple means strength and loyalty, and that's what we're all
perfect.
about.
Last but definitely not least, my behind the scene guy who has been there from day one, the guy who has always supported me, the guy who still managed to make me blush when I walk into a room, my other half, Asif Ali. He, with your
I have something to say about that,
love and
Jen.
your support, will be able to see what this guy look like next week. But he's been the guy who has made all of this possible. He is really he's a he's a security specialist. This guy makes
So are you really giving it away now? Who is the person behind? Because you just
well,
did, right?
who
You
knows?
just clearly did.
No, the guy behind the camera, who knows, right? Well, yes, it is.
My thought about
He's probably taking care of the kids.
he is. No, no, no. He's right here. He's doing a good job. But I told her, he said, Asif seems very serious. He smile? That's the first thing I asked her. But right tonight, he is smiling a lot.
Is
Well,
He
he?
does.
well, maybe next week they can see his smile, because if I have enough love for Asif in the comments, we will see what Asif looks
Come
like.
on, guys, send some hearts for
We
the
need
guy
some
behind
hearts. We need
you
some
know,
comments to
the
say
guy
they would
behind
like
the
to see what
camera.
Asif looks
Because
like.
truly, he is the one who have to really take the credit for all this. Without him, really, none of this would have been possible. We can't do it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So my
listen-
gratitude goes out to the man behind the scene first, and then of course you're beautiful.
Listen, I may have forgotten some names, but if I did, you know who you are. You know how you give me a call every single day, and we speak about what didn't go well, what went well, and how we can make it better. So if I didn't say your name, I apologize. It's old age.
If
I'll
I
blame it
may
on that.
say, our guest for the night was Jemima,
Yes.
and she's gone. I don't want you guys to feel like we are all over the place. We're basically in conversation right now,
Mhm.
recapping on the from the beginning to the end. I was one of the first
Mhm.
guests on her show, and it's funny because when Shameeza and I first encounter, we had this same vision.
Oh, hang on, Sarah. I forgot my dear friend Christine. Christine, you are loved, you're respected. There are many nights that we've spent on the phone where you have guided me, you've supported me. I've known you for the last 19 years of my life, and I have to say, our friendship is unique, because if I am
Oh
messing up or
no.
I'm doing something wrong, you are the first to say, Shamiza, get your ass up and do the right thing. And I truly respect you for that. And I
That's in the Guyanese language.
Yep.
Yes.
Get
Yes.
your ass up and okay.
Christina Chana, not just Christine, Christina Chana. I know you're
George, she's
watching right
just being
now.
herself right now.
I love you. I respect you, and I thank you for your feedback. Not only for the last few months of Get Real Shamisa, but for all the years. We have been several different places, but you've always been there as a friend to me. So thank you. I hope that that will make it right, Christine. All right, so let's move on now. Please go ahead.
When first of all, they know who they are.
Yes, they do.
Sometimes people will not mention names, but trust me, the names that are not mentioned is people that they hold closest to their heart,
Yes.
right? So I, for Christine, I'm sure she really, really appreciate every little bit of what you done for her. But she's excited, of course.
Excited, old age.
It didn't
Old age plays a big
for
role in
her
this.
when I encountered with Shameeza the first day. She told me about this dream. I mean, this vision of what she had. And speaking about that, a lot of people brought out their challenge because let's give thanks to COVID for something good it did. Because a lot of people who are small businesses today found their talent through COVID time. A lot of us never had the opportunity to stay home until we were tired of staying home and get, really understand our spouse. And so many damn things come out of this COVID, Shameeza. Tell
Yeah.
me, how was your, what is this COVID
Well, I
thing
came
really?
up
And
with the
now we're in the
idea.
whole Delta thing now. And then it's going to be
Yeah.
Caribbean Airline next.
Well, who knows? It's just time that will tell. But in the meantime, I know that we have to move on. And with that said, next week on Get Real with Shamiza, well, it's a bittersweet moment because we are saying goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, we're really saying goodbye to season one.
Well, like everybody in life needs to take a break from things, to
Yeah.
restructure,
Hmm.
to think about what they will be bringing,
Yeah.
what next that is unique that nobody else actually bringing to
Well,
the table.
speaking of break, we will take a break for a few weeks and we give the viewers a chance to enjoy the rest of their summer. We will return with season two
With a
in
bang.
September with new inspiring guests, unforgettable stories, and even more incredible talents.
I have a question for you, darling.
Yes,
Do you love me as your co-host? Are you having fun so far?
definitely.
Hey, you can't take my job. Hey, you
No,
can't take
hey,
my job.
no, I was told that
I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
this is gonna be like a Tree's company. What was the guy named Jack with the two girls? And
No, no, I
everybody
don't want that
has
name. I don't want that name, please.
As a matter of fact, we do have some things that are happening this week that I will be a part of that I would love to share with you guys. So, with our guy behind the scenes, please roll those clips. Perfect. This is actually August 29th. This will be at Amazura. If you have watched the show, you've seen that all of these guys that are on that flyer, I have actually hosted them on Get Real with Shameeza. Proud moment for all of us. We have actually hosted Randy as one of our very first guests. We've had Ranjiv, Mother's Day
you had
special.
KI.
I had KI, I had Savita, I had Roop. Last week, I've had Anil, a true pleasure, and we've had Naval Chitla. Guys, please go out and support this cause. It will be August 29th at Amazura. So please support these guys and please support the cause. The next event that we have is actually Felicia Show Up for Felicia. This is one of the events that I will be honored to be a part of, and it's happening this Saturday. Please reach out so that you can find out the location of this event and how you can support Felicia. She's been doing a phenomenal job. She's actually made history in New York, and she's one of our very own. So please support this cause. The other event that we have coming up this weekend that I'm also part of is Chutney Wine. This event is one of those that is
Tell me
special
a
to
little
me.
bit about this.
So this
Shams.
one we will have a huge amount of different talents. George and I will be there, and I hope you can join us too. But it will have an amazing. It will have GI. It will have Ranjiv. It will have some dancers, special singers. I will be there. My business, Get Real with Shameeza, will definitely be there, and all the things that we've been doing. So please come out, support it. Every ticket that's sold is going towards charity. Buddy Singh has been doing an amazing job in our community. This guy needs a lifetime achievement
So
award.
someone in our audience stated, "Don't forget chutney wine." Is that it?
This
that
is
it?
Chutney Wine Tausif
Okay,
batch.
Kelsey, she answered your question. Thank you for reminding us.
Yes, Tausif will be there. He was one of our musical guests and Get Real with Shameeza. Amazing talent. So thank you, Tausif. I will have the honor of actually meeting him in person. George and I will, do the honors while we're there. And I'm truly honored to be a part of this. So come out and support a worthy cause. Buddy has been doing amazing things in our community. And I'm excited now. I know on Friday you will have an exciting event at
Yes,
UBS.
yes, we're the man of the tongue, the song to Suraj, which I must say was a. Some people use it as a pageant. It really means that I'm holding my toddler, which is my son, hand.
Mhm.
I hope when I turn old, he will hold my hand too. And our guy, Raymond Ramnarayan, shout out to you, buddy, from Get Real with Shameeza. We're
Yes.
going to see you on Friday.
We will both be at that event, and we will love. Unfortunately, it's a sold out event, so
Yeah.
there is no more tickets. But if you're going to join us there, I know one of my dear friends, VJ from Angel Caribbean Man, and
Vita
Vinod,
Vishram will be there.
they will all
Zaman
be
is
there.
also performing there.
Perfect.
Um,
So
but he turned that song into a hit song. Everywhere you go, that song is being played. Every corner, every taxi,
mhm.
every shop, everywhere. And you're in for a surprise, but we cannot give more than this right now. But Shamiza, I have a few things in discussion with this woman. You're about to end season one. How nobody really asked you this question. How do you feel? What is your aha moment when you wanted to start the show, and what is your take now that you're ending your first season?
So starting the show, I had no idea what was to come and what I was going to have. I mean, I didn't. I hoped that it will be, and hope is a very strong word because I expected to share stories.
Okay.
I expected women to share their stories. But after you sharing your story, I shared my story. And we didn't have a story shared until last week when Sabrina, who has reached out to me since I shared my story, and I said to her, unless you are in counseling, you're protected. We won't be able to share your story on Get Real with Shameeza. I've been through a lot sharing my story, and it came from people who I knew and people that I trusted turned on me because I shared my story. And so I wanted her to be protected, and I wanted her to be in a place where she was comfortable and she was getting a certain level of healing from what she was sharing. So we went through the journey. She did everything that I asked, and she was able to share her story. I didn't see it. That aha moment for me was last week when Sabrina said to me at the end of her journey, when she shared everything, that she had cancer. And that for me was a moment that I had to
I'm a
like,
survivor.
I had to stop and I really had to what all the months of us speaking and everything that we've been through, I didn't know it. And she when I spoke to her afterwards, she didn't really want to take away from what her journey was, which was a intense journey, had layers of different things. And I it took me some time, but I finally understood why is it she didn't tell me about it. Now that we were there, my conversation right after was, how are you doing? And we have shared very a lot of moments together. We're on the phone constantly, and we're there for each other. And next week, not to give a lot away, but next week Sabrina will be back. She'll be able to share with you guys how the journey about cancer and how she's dealing with it, how it's going, and just thinking about it, it's a tough moment
Let me
because everything that Sabrina has been through, you'll think that she'll finally have found happiness, but it didn't really. I mean, it's so bad, Sarah, that she has already paid for her funeral expenses. She's already purchased her coffin. She's put a lot of things in place so her boys are not burdened. And that for me was like I had to take a moment to really figure out what are we really grateful for? What is our purpose here? And Sabrina has really made me step back and think about life.
my message to Sabrina as a woman in hold: keep living your best life every day. Every minute counts, every second counts.
Yeah,
We had a due date entering this world, but God played us so well, we don't have an expiration date.
we
You
definitely
may
don't.
plan all these things, but it's up to Him, right?
Definitely.
I want
Absolutely right.
for you, Sabrina, if you're listening to us right now, you did it because you did not want to put that burden on your children. But, honey, that will never stop you from living your best life because you don't know how much life you have left. Okay? Doesn't matter what happened to you, you are not the only one. Each woman went through something. But the question is, what are we willing to do about it?
Yep.
Are we going to suppress and, and get depressed and let it get to us? Are we going to take this opportunity and take that pain and shove it and become the best of us?
Well, I can tell you, Sarah, after all the love and support that Sabrina has
I've
received over
heard.
the last week, she is ready to live life to her fullest. She's ready to
When
take
you
on
really,
cancer, and
yes.
she is ready to be the best version of
I'm a
herself.
survivor for that. I even went to the doctor today. Good news came with bad news. Did it stop me? I am here. Look at me. You will not, it doesn't matter if you put on the makeup. It doesn't matter if you're 5'7" with a perfect figure or not. Beauty, like Shameeza and I discussed earlier, doesn't come in skin color.
Hmm.
It doesn't come with culture. It doesn't come with the outer look. It's what you make yourself.
Definitely.
It comes from within. You understand? If you are a good woman with great intentions, spreading kindness to the world, automatically you have that glow of just goodness around you that you inherited.
Definitely. Uh, I do want to share. I know many of you have shared. There is an article that was written. There was an interview that I recently did with the Guyana Chronicle where they shared that I will be launching my organization. It's a foundation that will help women and girls around the world, and it is called Safari for Hope. It is a foundation that is dear to my heart. Safari is actually named after my two beautiful daughters, Sophia and Ariana. So I took the first three letters of both their names and I put it together. And I am excited about this. I will definitely be sharing more information about it. We are actually waiting on final documentation to launch Safari for Hope. And so I thank you to all of the people who has reached out to me, who is excited about it, who is willing to help. I thank you for your support. It really means a lot to me. And I'm so excited that I'm able to take on this journey. I'm able to take on these things that are able to go out there and share with other women and young girls an opportunity that will enable them to live their best life. So, thank you guys so much for all your support, all your love. I've been receiving messages and calls about this foundation and how everyone can help. So I thank you so
I have a
much.
question for you. What are your goals and your vision for this foundation of yours? Because you told me, and I think more the merrier, that
Definitely.
we will collaborate and do
So
so much
Safari for
things.
Hope will be able to help young girls, like I said, women out there, anyone that needs help in terms of my initial goal for this foundation was really to build confidence among young girls. It will provide for young girls an opportunity to live their best life. And when I say that, I feel in certain parts of Guyana, there's many stories shared with me where girls are having things like sanitary napkins, like you said, using a cloth still is actually a luxury. And I truly feel that should not be a luxury. We're in
Necessary.
2021. That should be more of a necessity, not a luxury.
Yeah.
And these girls should be given, that should be something that comes to them naturally. So, my vision for Safari for Hope is to provide for these girls every single month a box with sanitary napkins, deodorant, moisturizers, and all the
All
personal
feminine
care
hygiene.
exactly that can help them to be confident. Because I feel if you take care of your body, you take care of yourself, you grow up to be more confident. And with that, you can also grow up to be the woman that most of us have to suppress and have to think you can be your own self. So that is my hope. That is my dream for Safari for Hope. And I hope that I can make that a reality with
We
the
just want to
support of my
wish
viewers.
Shamiza very well on this endeavor that she chose to have. The more, the merrier.
Yes.
Collab-
So hopefully together, the two of us with
we
your
have,
foundation on.
like I was saying earlier, when we first encounter, I said to you, no way you're going to have
Yes.
this, because this was my vision but a little differently. I said we are chosen. The key to my book is I found my purpose. I
Mhm.
didn't care anymore about who tarnished my name, what society will think. if I get love from the parents or not, I'm done with that. This is
Yes.
me. I chose me. Sarah's love you. God love you.
Yes.
That's all you need. You don't look for anyone because I dated myself. Important, we found self love. Self love is the most important factor. You love yourself. When you can love yourself, you compare to other people. They can't love me like I love me. You have the ability now. You have the power in your hands to choose. Is he right for me or right or he's not right for me? Because now you step up the game. You found your purpose. Finding your purpose is number one.
We will leave it at finding your purpose, guys.
Finding your purpose.
Find your purpose.
And
And
she did find hers. I did find mine. And together, what do you think we'll do?
tonight, I challenge you to find your purpose.
Find your purpose, darlings.
Nice.
With that said, next week on Get Real with Shameeza, well, like I said, it's a bittersweet. We will return with season 2 in September with new inspiring guests, unforgettable stories, and even more incredible talents. Look out for the announcements. Tonight, I would like to thank all of my guests. Well, I only had one guest, which was Jemima. I thank you for sharing your story. My sponsors and my co host, Sara, Khalil, and George Bash. George, is definitely a pleasure to have you back with us here and
Welcome
Get
back,
Real
Don't
with,
worry.
George.
Shanice. I thank you guys for your contribution on tonight's show. This was episode 13 of Get Real with Shamiza. Stay tuned for next week's show. There is a lot more to come. As a matter of fact, we'll share the flyer. There is the flyer, guys. If you haven't seen it yet, there it is. We will be bringing back some of the top guests of the entire season. We will be sharing their journey and how being on Get Real with Shamiza has changed their lives. So definitely join us next week for that show. Also, I would like to thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome, darling.
You have been with us the entire time. George, you've been with us. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, stay real, be true to who you are, and I love all of you so much. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.